and thank you for joining me at Derbyshire Dales, a brand new 00 gauge layout which I'm building. It will be DCC, but the only loco I've got at the moment is a DC one, and I'll explain all that in a little bit. So a little bit about me first. I am already a YouTuber. I have an outdoorsy channel which is very successful, so if you have come over from that channel to see what I'm doing here, then thank you very much. And also to other viewers that have just joined, so please do give me a thumbs up and click subscribe if you like what you see. So a little bit about my childhood. When I was about 5ish, my earliest memory of having a train was similar to this one. This is the only one I could find on Amazon. Very similar in kind of the American style steam locomotive. It had a working light on the front, and you used to put some drops of oil down the chimney and it used to smoke. So that was very, very early kind of toy train. Then one Christmas my dad got me a train set, and it was this loco, which I think is called the Hornby Standard. They've been around for about 70 years, I think. This particular one, was it 70 years? I can't remember. It's been around a long time. I'm sure I saw somewhere that it had its 70th anniversary. So yeah, it's a little red locomotive, and I think it was nicknamed Roger. Maybe that was something to do with Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends. I can't remember. But yeah, it was my first electric train set. So as I got a little bit older, I stopped using the train set on the floor, on the carpet, and I actually built my first kind of layout. It was on a two level, 2 tiers. It was obviously DC, and then I started collecting more locomotives. The next one that I got was the GWR, I think it's 262. Great Western Tipperary tanker, and then I got I think it was a British Rail Black, don't quote me, and then eventually I saved up enough pocket money to buy a diesel locomotive. Now I don't know what class it is. I think it's class 52, but please do tell me in the comments because it's bugging me. All these 3 locomotives I want to get back into my life, so I will be keeping an eye out for them. Whether they are DCC or DC, doesn't matter. Just for nostalgic purposes, I want to get them locos back, and I will be having a little bit of a display of locomotives on the wall here. So the layout itself, it's a small bedroom. I think it's about 3 meters that way and 2 meters across. I've got a chimney breast, so I will be going into the alcoves a little bit. This one not so much as the one near the camera. Basically I've started off spending a huge amount of money, almost eye-watering. So I've got my first baseboard. I bought 4 sections of track. I'm using Pico FlexiTrack code 100. I've worked with that stuff in the past, really like it. Bought a couple of points as well. My first loco really is this one. I quite like the look of it. And you can also see that I've started kind of making my TMD yard just here. Now originally I was going to have it based on a quarry in Derbyshire, Tunstead, and it's a mecca for train spotters, that place is, and they run all kinds of diesels on it. Basically anything they can find they throw at it. I think you can see Scottish ones, you know, old British Rail ones, there's all sorts on there. So originally that's what I was going to do, and I was going to have it over in that corner over there, just, you know, the quarry, and then the TMD would service the quarry. But I've rethought that, and I'm not having the quarry anymore, just because of the confined space that I've got in that corner. So yeah, I will be still having a TMD yard, like I say. Painted that myself, and I've obviously got a screen up here with a fire stick in it, and I just watch YouTube on that. So I'll have modelling videos in the background while I'm in here doing whatever. Right, there's 3 problems that I've got to overcome. The first one is this door, which as you can see is a fire door. So I've got to have a lifting section here. What the camera's on behind the window, I'll show you in a second. In fact, I'll show you now. That window is a fire escape as well, because I'm on the ground floor here. So I've already made it, put a hinge on that, and that will lift up that way. So basically from this corner, I'll start at the beginning where the laptop is. This will be a canal scene, a small row of terraced low relief houses over there, and the track will come up and down underneath this part and then emerge as it comes over the lift up section here. You'll have to use your imagination, I'm sorry. So yeah, we go round the corner here. There's more points and stuff going all over here. We come round the corner and then 2 tracks across here, and then it'll disappear onto this side. That'll be like the town scene, the station and everything will be there. And then obviously I've got to go back over the lift up section there. I've also got a radiator, so I need to find some way of protecting underneath there or deflecting some of the heat, or I might just turn it down or turn it off. Not decided yet. We're coming into summer, so don't need to worry about that yet. So obviously on the wall there I've got my notes of things that I kind of jot down that comes into my head. I jot them down, what I want, and then that all lives there, and there's a few more up there as well. They'll be going, and I will have some nice kind of train pictures up there. I've already started my engine shed. Got to get some more stuff to that hopefully tomorrow. But that's scratch built, and that'll live. Sorry about the dodgy camera work. I'm not usually like this. That'll live just there. So that's scratch built, that is. I need to get some Metcalf brick card for in these bits. And maybe a door for around the back so it's actually got an entrance. Right, so I'll move some of this junk out of the way. Right, so let's have a look what I've bought and spent this eye-watering amount on. So first of all, yeah, you've seen the loco. Now, what's actually made me start doing model railways again, because I was thinking about it for about 2 weeks. And it wouldn't go out of my head, and I said, right, I'll have a look. I'll go up to the model shop, and I'll just have a look round and see the prices. Look what I found: Derbyshire stone. So me being from Derbyshire, the Peak District, that's why I'm modelling this kind of on the Peak District. A few days later, I went back, got some more things. So that'll be the cut in half, and that'll be the bridge for the canal. I got this because originally I was going to have 2 levels, so the bottom would be the main line and the top would be the DC, so I could run older locos. But I've since scrapped that idea because having 2 lift up sections, it's just going to be too difficult to do, and it'd be quite a pain in the bum, to be honest with you. I've got 3 carriages. Now they do say Southern Railway on them. Whether them decals will come off, I don't know. So I've got 3 of them. I got 2 points, so opposites, I think they are, yeah. Just to get me going. Obviously track pins, fish plates, bought all that. The main thing, which is ridiculously expensive, is the controller. So basically I wanted the Select, which is this basically cut in half. Couldn't get hold of it on Amazon. This is the only one that they had. £279 later and it arrived. But in retrospect, this is a controller that I will never have to expand on, because it can do hundreds of locomotives. Although I'm not getting hundreds, because locomotives, DCC locomotives with sound, are about 300 quid in themselves. So yeah, that was a big purchase. So obviously I've purchased other things mod rock, stuff for actually modelling with. I've kind of come to a stop with the track. I do know that it's 67mm from the centre of one track to the centre of the other, so I have made somewhere a little block that I'll put in between. Now, I don't want to start doing this piece of track, the main line, until I've bought a tunnel entrance for here, and then I'll kind of be able to gauge it a little bit better. That's why I bought the coaches, so that I can gauge how tight the curves are going to be. But I'm going up to the model shop tomorrow. My nearest one's in Rudland. I'm going up there tomorrow for a few bits and pieces, so I might see if they have actually got I think they're called radius sets. It's basically a piece of plastic or a piece of metal that's a set radius, and that's the tightest you can go basically. So I'll probably pick up one of them tomorrow. Tunnel entrance I need to get, the cardboard for the engine shed, I need to get that as well, and I'll just have a look, see if there's any more bits and pieces. I've also bought a car. Now, not ready for roads yet, but now I've got the car, I know the width of the road, rather than go out and actually measure it and scale it down myself, because it's 4mm, which is basically anything in real life, measure it in feet and then divide by, is it 76, and that'll give you how big it is in scale form. So yeah, anyway, I'm beginning to waffle a little bit, aren't I? So the next video you'll see me actually starting work on this. Wasn't happy with it to begin with, so I've had to kind of redo it, and I'll try and get that shed finished by the next video as well. So stay with me. Like I say, it's a small bedroom, brand new layout. I've modelled before, so I kind of know what I'm doing. I'm not a complete newbie. The baseboards are in sections in case I have to ever move, which I hope I won't, but it's like there's one section there, one section there, one section there, and they're all bolted together underneath. So all I do once the layout's finished is come in, cut with a Dremel through the tracks, through the scenery, and then that section will lift out. What else is there? I don't think there is anything else to basically tell you at the moment. It will have a bus wire round the bottom underneath the layout, obviously, because I've got to put droppers in every so far. The main droppers are going to be along the TMD, but you know, I'm not going to go mad. I'm only going to be running probably 6 locos. I'll probably have about 6 locos eventually, but like I say, they're expensive, so I've obviously got to buy more track as well, so I've got to get the balance right. So far I've spent £607, which is kind of ridiculous, but that's the nature of the beast. I even put my switches in here ready for that. They'll just single pole, single throw switches. They'll be for lights, street lighting, TMD yard, buildings, that kind of thing. Point motors. I've never had motorised point motors before, so I'm doing a lot of research into that at the moment. I do realise as I lay the track, I've got to make a hole for the point motor to poke through and actually move the blade of the point. So yeah, I'm looking into that again. Expense. Right, my only bugbear with model railways is the vehicles. So I'm not going to have too many vehicles because everything just looks static, doesn't it? Everything's stood still. So in the town, I'm having a brainwave. In the town, there'll be a car park for the station and a taxi rank with a few cars in there. And on the main street, I'm thinking traffic lights, but always red. So it looks like they're actually stopped. I know you can get these kind of Magna rails and what have you. The only problem with them is they don't do scale speed. There's no way of slowing them vehicles down. They all seem to whiz round quite quickly, which isn't to scale. So I'm not going down that line. I did think about trying to make my own, but I've got a 12 volt motor down here. I could put a variable resistor on that, and I could probably knock something together out of like a Meccano set with a magnet, and then, but cross that bridge when I get to it. It will have signals on the layout. Whether they're going to be automatic ones or not, still not sure. Or I might just manually do them on a switch. But again, I know that you can get like a magic eye that sits underneath the layout, and it will change the signals as the train passes. So that's another thing to think about. So yeah, that's basically the layout. It will have, even though I'm running old diesels, because I like diesels, I'll run whatever I want on it. Basically, it's not, you know, the scenery really is kind of in my mind, and the canal is the Derbyshire aspect, and you know, the small villages, which I'm going to put a village in that corner. Or I may have, in Derbyshire we have what's called show caves, and we have a Blue John mine as well. So Blue John is a semi-precious stone, and it looks a little bit like this, and they make kind of bowls and jewellery out of it. Excuse me. We also have show caves, and here's one of, it's called Devil's Arse. Basically, it's got a big water sump in the bottom of it, and when at certain times of the year, when it all drains out, it sounds like, well, you can imagine water going down the plug hole, but a very big plug hole. So that's why it's nicknamed the Devil's Arse. Can't actually remember its name. But then I might put a show cave in that corner, you know, and have it lit up, orange or different, you know, different colour LEDs, something like that. Still not sure what's actually going in that corner, but town there, TMD, canal, row of houses, all, you know, little cottagey pub kind of thing, that kind of thing. So, right, that's it. I'm waffling. Thank you very much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up. Can't even speak. Please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned. Thanks very much. See you all later.